warm and dry weather continues, but we do at least have a weak front headed our way. I'll tell you more about it right after this. Unseasonably warm temperatures are here to stay. We do have a weak front headed in this weekend that should take the edge off a little bit, but it's not quite that easy. We'll talk about that in a moment. Right now, we've got our temperatures for today. It is well above normal today, 87, 88 degrees, and overnight tonight, 63, 64. So again, we stay relatively cool, but during the day, we will feel those warmer temps. And for the records today, same temp, different year, 1939 for 94 degrees at DFW, then 60 years later, 94 degrees at Waco in 1999. But you can see the norms here. We are 10 plus degrees above normal in our area. I mean, this is just wild here. And as I say, it's going to continue for a while. We do have a weak front headed this way. And the good news that I can give you at least is that we're still in the medium range for the allergens. You're still feeling the ragweed there, but hey, I mean, it's better than medium high or high at this point, but just hang in there with the allergy remedies. Not much happening in the tropics right now. That's some more good news that I can impart. We have Tropical Storm Oscar here right over the Bahamas. That's going to continue on north here. For the moment, this doesn't look to threaten the United States too much, definitely not anything in Texas. But as it moves northward, we could be looking at New England, depending on what that does. But for the moment, really nothing out there. There's nothing new developing at the moment here in the main development region. So we'll take that at least for the moment. Now let's talk about what's going on in kind of the broad scale of things. Really two things I want to show you. One, this system continues to move on through the Midwest. Got some showers and thunderstorms there in Illinois. And then we have more showers and thunderstorms from South Dakota on to Montana. You can see the motion here. And really this kind of illustrates to you the flow is staying well north of us for our area. You can see the dry air, and that's just going to continue. So all of the action, all of the rain, all the cooler temperatures, everything's being held up north where the jet stream is, and there's just nothing, at least in the near future, that's going to pull that downward to bring us rain, to bring us cooler temperatures, all the things that we would expect in October. There's only, when you look at the numbers at DFW, I believe it's the same for Waco, there's only a couple of times in recorded history that we have gone a complete October without any rain, and we could be headed for a third, unless Halloween brings another system, which if you've listened to me long enough, you've heard me say that the end of October, early November tends to, for whatever reason, bring something. And I mentioned this morning that it's usually one of two things. One, we're really warm on Halloween waiting for that cold blast to get here, or we're really cool on Halloween because one just arrived. Models are coalescing around the idea of getting some kind of system moving in right around Halloween. Now, how much rain do we get from it? There's some disagreement there. Whether we get rain that just blasts through and we have a nice complex of storms that'll bring a lot of rain, showers, and thunderstorms more widespread across the area, as opposed to there's another school of thought where we just kind of get the southern edge of it, maybe a few things popping up, but really more isolated in nature. We're going to have to wait and see. I mean, this is what I hate about meteorology. This is what I know you guys hate about meteorology as well. We're kind of in that wait and see pattern. So, and again, I know that we're so used to seeing you get a chance of rain and then it just falls apart. We get another chance of rain and as it gets closer in the forecast, it just falls apart. I'm not guaranteeing that's not going to happen here. In fact, I've seen plenty of times where models will hold a pattern all the way up until about 3 or 4 days out and then it just falls apart. So don't get your hopes up here, and it's definitely not a forecast. It's trends that we're watching to see how those models continue, and Thursday evening we'll get our first look at the Halloween forecast, and then going forward from there, we'll see how it goes. But for now, just be prepared for more warm and dry temperatures, and that's going to exacerbate here the fire danger. So Hill County just recently this morning, I believe, extended their burn ban. Johnson County brought theirs back on Monday. Still nothing from Ellis County. I'm waiting to hear back from a commissioner to see when they might plan on discussing this, but I think they're probably trying to give people a little bit of grace here. There's a lot of folks that need to burn trash or brush or whatever the case is. So I do believe, though, that a burn ban will be coming for Ellis County and more of the surrounding counties here in the coming days and weeks, especially if we can't get any rain out of that next system. So time will tell here. But what I'm looking at in terms of the forecast, we are warming up. We are going to be in the upper 80s, 90-degree range here with breezy winds. So these will be the days you definitely need to be paying attention to the possibility of some fire danger. That front, late Friday, early Saturday. Here's the thing, though. If that front comes in, it will be weak. It probably won't go very far. This has kind of been going back and forth in the models. Yesterday, it looked like it was actually going to get a pretty decent push to at least go through the area. Now, not quite sure. So it will have to, again, we're going to have to wait and see to see how far that front might come in, and that will determine our weekend forecast. If it comes all the way through, goes further south, we'll get more of that cool air. If it stalls on top of or north of us, we'll probably be a little bit warmer. I have temperatures right around 85, kind of a middle ground there, and then we're kind of going right back up. It will move northward as a warm front and bring temperatures up again, but that's the 28th. 29th, 30th, 31st, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that other system that the models are kind of arguing about right now. Looking at the Texas Country, Crossroads of Texas Country Festival, it's kind of a mouthful, and I'm still getting the lingo down. It does look like it'll be a decent day. If nothing else, we should at least be in the mid-80s. Lighter winds probably. I was thinking that might be a stronger wind day. Looks right now like winds will probably be a little more subdued, which will help the vendors. And hopefully we can get the front through to bring down the humidity a little bit. So make it a little more comfortable out there. Either way, it's not going to be extremely hot, and it at least won't be a weird kind of gross damp day like it has been at some point. So all in all, for the Crossroads of Texas Festival in Waxahachie, looks pretty nice. So you want to make sure you come out to that, come to the South Metro Weather booth and say hello, and get a wristband as well. But for now, warm temperatures, warm, dry. It's just going to be a broken record for a few days, but stay tuned. I will be watching the horizon to see if we might have a bit of a wet and hopefully cooler end of October, early November. We'll see what trick-or-treating might be like. So more updates are to come throughout the week.